Rev up your engines!
Well, Tesla sales are down. Now their stock is starting to plummet. Old Elon lost $100 billion so far this year. People are starting to sell off the Tesla stock. Now everybody's saying, well, it's because Elon's crazy and he's running around saying these crazy things and doing the Heil salute and all that stuff, right? But if you ask me, it's a lot deeper with Tesla. The people who wanted electric cars bought them, and they admitted in California, 20% of the people that bought them said they'll never buy another electric car. They don't like it. And these are the people that were interested in it. The vast majority of we Americans aren't interested at all in having an electric car in the state that they exist today, right? So now it's finally catching up with Tesla that, hey, maybe this company isn't worth all this money. You know, now it's no longer a $1 trillion company, they say. Should it be worth $1 trillion? Of course it shouldn't be. This is all just fantasy of what the stuff is worth when it really isn't. I mean, the company made a lot of profit selling those stupid carbon credits and a lot of government money that was put in to make it cheaper for people to buy electric cars. And now you can see with Trump in, these electric car subsidies are starting to go down the toilet. And so electric car companies, hey, it's not going to do them any good. Their stock's going to start dropping because less people are going to buy them. They're going to see it as less of an opportunity to buy. And of course, his Cybertruck, the massive failure that was, everybody's seeing what a pile of crap that thing is. They're thinking, hey, is this guy cutting edge anymore? Maybe he's lost his edge and put the edge on the Cybertruck so the little sharp edges can cut people if you rub against them. So, hey, that stock is going down. I mean, I predicted it years ago. I couldn't understand how it got as high as it did, but that's all. The stock market is a mental thing. Yeah, it's mental for sure. It's really mental, right? But it's what people believe. It doesn't mean that it's real. Stocks go up. I've seen stocks that were $3,000 a share, and 6 months later, they were $10 a share. So don't think that it's real. It's just a perception. And in this case, the reality is starting to take over from the perception of Tesla, and it's starting to drop like a stone. Well, one of the most popularly stolen cars is a Toyota Camry. Between 2010 and 2020, 180,722 Camrys were stolen in the United States alone. And now it's getting even worse. Now they're stealing the wheels off of the late model Camrys. They have nice looking wheels, fancy stuff, right? So people are coming back, and what do they find? Their cars either up on blocks or they just took the tire and then dropped the car in the ground, took all the other tires. Your car's just sitting on the ground with no wheels on it. So what can you do to stop these guys? Well, you want to make it as hard as possible for them to steal your wheels. So, of course, if you have wheel locks, put some wheel locks on it. If you don't have any, sure, the good thief is going to steal it anyways, a real pro, right? But it keeps these amateur teenage punks from doing it because they don't have the equipment to take those lockers off, right? Especially if you get the ones that spin, and then you got to have a key to put in to lock them so they don't spin anymore. Those are a lot harder for the guys to steal. The ones that are just puzzle locks, they're not that hard to steal because there's reverse sockets you can put on them, but if they're spinner sockets, those don't work. So, and another way you can keep your wheels from being stolen is park it in places that makes it harder to steal. For example, if you can park next to the side of a wall, they can't get to the other side. So they can only steal 2 of your wheels, not all 4. Well, these guys out to make money. They want to steal all 4. So they'll go to the next car that is parked somewhere where they can access both sides and steal all the wheels. Another thing is perhaps park in smaller parking spaces. When there's a lot of room, they can get and steal the wheels, but when the vehicles are all real tight, you might not like squeezing out of the door when you get out, but the thieves can't get it and steal it that easily. Plus, always put your emergency brake on, because these guys have jacks, right? They could jack up your car and they could wheel it back. But if you have the emergency brakes on and you keep it in park, it's going to be real hard for them to push it back, so they're going to go away and steal it from another car. Anytime you want to keep people from stealing things from you, what you want to do, as nasty as it sounds, is make your car harder to steal than the other ones, so they'll go to the other ones and steal them instead of stealing your car. Sad but true. Well, Toyota's kind of secretly admitting they made a mistake with the 24 Toyota Tacomas not allowing V6 engine. So this one guy says, my 2024 Toyota Tacoma pipes fake engine noise into the cabin. Now you might wonder, why is Toyota using fake engine noise in a 2024 Toyota Tacoma? Well, you know why? Because they're turbo 4s, and they sound like crap. And the old V6s sounded a lot better. Toyota isn't talking about this, but it turns out that this fake engine noise is only at certain trim levels, not all of the Tacomas in 2024. One guy said, I've got a Tacoma with a JBL sound system, and yes, they're piping fake engine noise into my car. Some of these Tacomas have a sound system that's called Toyota Engine Sound Enhancement. They want to enhance the exhaust. Well, that's because they sound like crap. The other day, a guy brought me one of those. It was noisy, the wrong kind of noise. Because it had the turbo 4-cylinder engine, and they buzz much more. The 6s are so much smoother. They use an intake sound generator to create a deeper, sportier noise. Yeah, because they don't like that whizzing of the turbo 4. It's more than just the noise to me. I don't like the power delivery either. It's not as smooth. It's more jagged. A turbocharged engine will never last as long as a non-turbo because of the extra pressure. And you might wonder how it works. Well, sensors monitor the engine data, RPM, and torque, and then the system generates a synthetic sound that's played to the car's speakers. Hey, they gotta hide it because they screwed up with their design. Hey, Toyota, let me tell you something. You're not fixing the problem of going from a V6 to a turbo 4 by piping in fake noise. You know, it's not working, Toyota. It's just not working. Go back to the better engines. Don't try to mask it with some sound. Jim Farley keeps saying, better quality, better quality. Ha, listen to this. The Ford Maverick has now been recalled 2 times to fix 2 previous recalls that they already recalled but didn't fix them right. Now, something's amiss here, right? Turns out the taillights and the turn signals might not illuminate. Great at night. People aren't going to see you, right? Now, they say it's due to software issues in the control modules. Believe it or not, if you don't know that much about cars, even the turn signals in a modern car are activated by control modules, small computers. And they say, well, the software's bad. So they reprogram them. But then they still didn't work, and they got to do it again. Now, these are on Ford Mavericks. Not just a coincidence that it is vehicles that are all made in Mexico, the land of low quality to begin with, right? Not just a coincidence that they're being recalled the second time for problems that supposedly they fixed before. Maybe it isn't a software problem. Maybe it's a hardware problem. They just won't admit it. If you have one of these, you see a recall notice, hey, you take it back, and they're going to reprogram the control module yet again. Now, maybe they'll end up doing it a third time. What do they say? A third time's a charm? Well, third time may be a charm for fixing some things, but it's showing that Ford, really, they got a lack of quality control, not even a lack of being able to fix their problems the first time, and now they're trying it again a second time. It does not bode well for Ford quality control, then for their repair of their lack of quality control, and then, of course, the cherry on the top is, hey, they're all made in Mexico. What do they expect was going to happen? Okay, you might think I'm making this stuff up, but I'm not. It's real. Mazda settled a lawsuit, and in this lawsuit, the lawyers got $1.9 million, while the plaintiffs split $11,500 and a sandwich. The class action suit said Mazda replaced faulty parts with ones that were equally defective, right? They probably didn't have any different ones. So the other one, let's try this again. Maybe this one will work, right? 4 plaintiffs whose Mazda infotainment systems would lag, reboot, shut down when they're driving, right? Mazda settled the matter. The 4 plaintiffs have to split $11,500. So they each get $2,875. But the lawyers who represented them got $1.9 million for their work. Kind of make you think, what's going on in this legal system? The screens would go out, and Mazda replaced them. But it looks like they replaced them with equally bad units. So, as usual in our society, the poor slob who bought a Mazda and had a problem gets peanut change, while the lawyers get $1.9 million. Hey, there's something wrong. You know, they shouldn't be allowed to even have that. That they get all that money and these people get peanut change. It's absolutely absurd, but that's the state of our society these days. Well, it looks like a German car maker may be moving to the United States to produce 2 models vehicles for the first time ever in the United States that were never made here. Sadly, it's Porsche and Audi. And even worse than that, they're thinking about shifting the production of the Porsche electric vehicles and the Audi electric vehicles over here. It's bad enough that they're Porsches and Audis, but it's even worse that they're electric vehicles. They're more complex. Nobody will know how to fix the things. The parts will cost a small fortune like Porsches and Audis always did. But now they're saying they're thinking about moving production here. Well, I, for one, think they probably never will, that they're trying to placate Donald, that, well, look, Donald, we're going to make factories in the United States now. Give me a break, you know? Don't tariff our German cars. We'll start making them in the United States now. And the electric ones, too. I guess they don't understand Donald doesn't give a crap about electric cars. Maybe they're trying to appease Elon, but then Elon wouldn't like it because that would be competition with Tesla. Now, Volkswagen, who of course owns Porsche and Audi, have been losing money for a while. Their profits are going down. They can't sell their cars. They're even shutting some factories down in Germany. So they're trying to pull an ace up their sleeve to say, oh, well, we'll start building electric Porsches and Audis in the United States. Now, to begin with, people don't like electric vehicles. They like Porsches and Audis even less. Porsches, the snob cars, and Audis, which are semi-snob cars, but now I read an article the other day, guy says, what is the point of Audi? He says, they're having a hard time selling because they don't have what anybody wants. They're not the luxury, and they're not cheap cars. What do you get for one? And people are saying, look, these other car companies, you get a lot more than what they're making for your bang for your buck. So as time goes on, people become somewhat less snobby. When they don't have enough money, they want something that's going to last a long time. They're not going to be doing like in my father's generation, keep up with the Joneses. Every 2-3 years they'd buy another car, but the cars only cost $800, and then you get $400 for your old one, so you weren't paying that much to upgrade every year. Well, now you can multiply that by 10 or 20 when it comes to buying the cars and resell them for less and buying the new one for more. So keeping up with the Joneses isn't what it used to be. And companies like Porsche, they're going to find that out quickly. Especially, they're dealing with Porsche, wealthy people. Most wealthy people don't like the inconvenience of having to plug a car in and wait. They want it instant, right? So that's why they have gasoline cars. Look at Volvo. They actually make pretty good electric cars, but they're failed miserably. They can't give the things away in the United States because the people who buy Volvos don't want to be inconvenienced by having to think, am I running out of electricity? I got to plug it in here for 2 hours, wait with all these other people. No, it doesn't fit their market. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.